What is up, Sopranos fans? Kino here. I'm back with another Soprano log, and today we're looking at the Season 2 finale, Funhouse. We've reached the end of another season, and I just want to thank you guys so much for continuing to watch these videos. It really means a lot to me to be able to share these with all of you guys and have you enjoy them. So thank you guys so much for all you do in supporting the channel and continuing to watch my videos. Now, real quick before we get into the video, I have an announcement. A couple of fans have asked for a way to, directly support the channel. Oftentimes my videos get, copyright claimed, demonetized, even taken down in some cases. And that's because I use clips from the show in my videos. I could get around this by using still images, but I think that overall those would make the videos worse and less enjoyable to watch. So I prefer to use video clips, even when sometimes it messes with monetization. But like I said, some fans want to support me and ensure that I'm able to continue to make these videos. So to that end, I've created a Patreon. And this is a way for anyone who wants to support me to be able to do so. And there'll be some rewards for anyone who wants to do that. But before I explain what those are, I just want to preface this by saying I'm never going to lock my content behind a paywall. I want my videos to be enjoyed by everyone. And my videos will continue to come out on their normal schedule. The Patreon will not affect that. This is just some extra rewards for people who, like I said, want to support me and want to ensure that I'm able to continue to make content like this for you guys moving forward. So I'll explain what the tiers and what the benefits are. But for those of you who are not interested, I'll put a time code right here for you to skip ahead to where I get into the episode review. But for the cool cats who are still sticking around here, I have two tiers right now available on my Patreon, an associate tier and a maid tier. The associate tier for $1 a month, gets you early access to all of my videos. I actually have all of season 3's Soprano logs ready to go by the time you watch this. So if you want to just watch all of those right now, you can definitely do so. Just become a patron. The maid tier, this is where you get your button. If you want to be an official member of the crew, you can do so on this tier. And I will give you a personal shout out at the end of all of my videos in the credits. Like I said, season 3 is already done, so I might have to do those just in like a comment section. But moving forward, I'll actually give you a shout out within the video itself. But in either of these tiers, another benefit is that I'm looking for input on what kinds of videos I make moving forward. Obviously I'm going to review every episode of The Sopranos before the movie comes out. And I want to continue to make more Soprano analysis and movie reviews like I've been doing. But I think the logical thing for me to do once I'm done with the Soprano episodes is do another television show, review it episode by episode. And what show I do is really up for debate. I'm looking for input from my patrons to help me decide, what would be the most enjoyable for you guys to watch. There are a number of different options we could go through, but I'm just looking forward to getting that input from you guys and helping me determine the channel's future. So again, if you guys want to do this, thank you so much, but I think I've rambled on enough about this, so let's jump into the episode. This is Funhouse. The episode opens with Tony arranging for his mom to fly to Arizona. Janice gone, there's basically no one to take care of her, and neither of the kids will take her, so their only option is to send her to go live with a relative. Tony uses one of the airline tickets he got from the Scatino bust out, and basically sends her on her way. He doesn't want anything to do with her. Besides that, though, things are going good with Tony. With Richie gone, he has no enemies and no real problems. He's out celebrating with Pussy. They go to eat at an Indian restaurant, and then they go to Vesuvio's to have some snacks and things there. Later that night, though, he has this really vivid dream where he's setting himself on fire. It's a really strange dream. There's Spoons, who Tony had killed earlier. There's all the guys there, and the dream doesn't really make any sense. And we're going to deal with a lot of dreams in this episode, and I'm just saying right now that I don't think all of them have a specific purpose, like a metaphorical purpose. I think some of them were there just to show how strange dreams are. Sopranos was a really unique show for showing, dream sequences actually how they occur, rather than having them be, really straightforward things that we witness. So Tony wakes up from that dream and starts puking. We realize that he has food poisoning. He thinks it's from the Indian restaurant, of course, but later he starts to suspect that, it might have been from the food he ate at Vesuvio's. Tony tries to go back to sleep, and he continues to have more weird dreams. One of them, he's at the boardwalk. This is where the title of the episode, Funhouse, comes from. There's some boardwalk, funhouse, and attractions nearby. We see Silvio dressed up as Michael Corleone from Godfather 3. I've always thought it was really interesting that he quotes the worst Godfather, the line he's known for quoting, "Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in." And it's funny that line is actually more iconic to Silvio than Michael Corleone, who originally said it. There's that World of Warcraft commercial from back in the day where Silvio says it. So people tend to associate it more with Silvio than the actual movie it came from. And I think probably because Godfather 3 was just a terrible movie in general. But Tony has another dream where he sees himself through one of those binoculars at the beach. And he sees himself playing poker with Paulie in a train station. Then Tony pulls out a gun and shoots Paulie. Again, it's people read into this what it really means. I don't know if it meant anything as of now. We'll learn later on that, Paulie has his own problems that he causes Tony. But he even says to Melfi within another dream that he doesn't know why he killed Paulie. I think it's just the dreams being strange again. But feel free if you have an idea of what these dreams mean to talk about it. I love listening and reading that discussion. So the next day, Artie comes over and checks on Tony. He denies that his food caused the illness. He thinks it's the Indian food that caused it. They call Pussy to see if he's experiencing any symptoms, and he only has a little bit of diarrhea. So it looks like Tony's the only one who's getting sick by this. Again, I think that his condition is being exacerbated by the fact that, he suspects Pussy is an informant. And we will see that in a dream coming up here. So Tony, again, falls asleep. He has a dream about Melfi. Melfi's asking him about Pussy, how he feels about him. And then they end up having sex, which, Tony's been attracted to her throughout the entire show. So this is him just having that fantasy. As we saw in season 1, he also had dreams about having sex with her. Doc Cusimano comes over to check on Tony. He thinks that it might not have been the Indian food. Apparently the spices that they cook with kill germs. So he puts the blame on Artie, apparently. So it's pretty funny that Artie messed up Tony like this. But Tony again falls back asleep. And this is where he has the dream where Pussy is a fish. And Pussy basically comes out and tells him he's an informant, he's a rat. Now this is Tony's subconscious screaming that at him. He's realized it this whole time. It's why he passed over Pussy for promotion. And he's finally ready to admit it to himself in this dream. So Tony wakes up and realizes what he has to go do. He gets Silvio and goes over to Pussy's house. They tell him that they want him to go look at a boat with them that Tony's thinking about buying. But while Tony's alone in the bathroom, he searches through their things and ends up finding the wire, confirming that Pussy is indeed a rat. So they take him out to the boat. Paulie's already there waiting for them. They take the boat out into the middle of the ocean. They go down below deck, and finally they confront Pussy about being the rat. He tries denying it at first, but then he admits to it. He tries to defend himself, saying that, he was just manipulating the FBI. He wasn't giving them anything serious. But, that's in contradiction to what we saw last episode, where he was full on trying to be an FBI agent. But that's Pussy's whole character arc this season. He's caught between these two worlds, and finally something gives. And in this episode, we see the consequences. So they're really sad to see him go. He was like a brother to them, but at the end, they decide, they kill him. He's a rat. There's nothing they can do. He's got to be taken out. So they tie him up, bag him, and then throw him into the ocean. And Pussy's gone now. Sad to see him go. He was with us since the beginning, but that's the life for, these mobsters. Sometimes you even have to kill your own friends. Back at home, though, Livia is arrested when she tries to board the plane with the stolen airline ticket. She tells him that, Tony was the one who got it for her. And so the FBI show up at his house and arrest Tony. They find the stolen airline tickets, and he is in trouble now. They actually arrest him as Meadow and her friends are coming home. She's graduating the next day. And of course, she's really upset and embarrassed that this happened to her right now of all times. The FBI booked Tony. He ends up making bail, but he's just really upset about this whole thing. He realizes that this didn't have to happen. He didn't have to give his mom this ticket. But in some ways, he's so self-destructive that he was almost hoping that something like this would happen and he would get in trouble. It's Tony's whole depression and why he gets himself into these situations. But this is hanging over Tony's head. He's really upset and scared that he'll end up in jail with all these RICO predicates over his head. Melfi is trying to get him to talk about his feelings about his mother and what this means for him, but he doesn't want to deal with it, so he just leaves. And as the episode ends, we see Maddow's graduation. It's a happy moment. Tony's happy for her. Life is continuing to go on. We see what's happening across Jersey, both the good and the bad things, as they're having this graduation party at their house. And it's a calm little moment, kind of like the end of season 1, but those charges are hanging over Tony's head. So we're left wondering, what's going to happen next season. I know I say most of the time that these episodes are great, but this really was, one of the best episodes of the show. We lose a main character, someone who's been with us since the beginning. Yeah, we're just really wondering what's going to happen next season. So thank you guys so much for sticking with me for another season of The Sopranos, and season 3 will be coming up very soon. Thank you.